Call the meeting to order. Will everybody please stand? We'll do the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Brother Tom, would you have a microphone up here if you'd, Brother Tom Lacey from Lacey Creek Church of Christ to be opening us in prayer tonight. Tom Still. God, man, I'm having a day today. I'm sorry, Tom.
Well, I just want to say that I think it's an honor to come and to be able to say prayer. In Psalms 9, it says, "A nation that forgets God will be delivered to hell." And so our leaders today need to know that. Let's bow our heads. Our gracious Heavenly Father, we're thankful for this another day, dear Lord, and thank you for this venue. We pray a blessing tonight on this meeting. We pray that all will go in decency and order. We pray for each of these leaders, dear Heavenly Father, that they would be conscious, dear Heavenly Father, that you're looking down, and we pray that they would look to you for guidance in the things that they do and all the many facets that they govern here through these meetings, dear Heavenly Father. We thank you for each one that has a desire to be elected into a position where they can help their community and help each other. Be with us as we go through this meeting tonight, dear Heavenly Father. Lead, guide, and direct in all these many things. We thank you through Christ Jesus, our Savior. Amen.
Amen. Be seated. Thank you, Tom. All right. Vicki, would you do a roll call?
Eric Philford,
Here.
Johnny Keaton,
Here.
Tommy Fannin,
Here.
Brandon Evans,
Here.
Leroy Phipps.
Here. Have a quorum?
We have a quorum.
All right. All right, first thing is to appoint Vicki Lewis as clerk of the Morgan County Fiscal Court. Randy Williams requested that we find somebody else. It was all, nothing bad, it's all good. He has other things going on. And so we went ahead and we'd like to appoint Vicki to start taking our minutes for us. So I'll entertain a motion on that.
I make a motion that we elect her as our clerk.
I'll second.
We have a motion on the floor. It's been properly second to appoint Vicki Lewis as clerk of the Morgan County Fiscal Court. Any further discussion? Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Can you tell Miles to call me?
Oh, yes, I did.
All right. So yeah.
He should be calling in.
All right. We're waiting on our county attorney to call in, so that's what's going on. Okay, next up is the treasurer's report.
Okay, I guess that will be me.
Speak into the mic, please.
Okay.
Can you get used to that?
Yep. All right, good evening, everyone. So I hope everyone's doing good today. And as you all know, this is my very first meeting as county treasurer. This is also the first time we'll be using our new e-meeting software, so bear with us. I think that this new system will keep the court very well informed and will prove to be cost and time efficient for the county. As you can see on the agenda, we have a lot to cover this evening, so I'll go ahead and get started with item 5A, which is changes to the chart of accounts. If everyone will go to 5A, there is also two attachments with that. First of all, we'll be going over fiscal year 24 MCFC chart of accounts maintenance changes. I'll give everyone time to get on that. Okay. This is a spreadsheet that shows all the accounts that we have added or changed to the fiscal year 24 budget. I just want to note also anytime that accounts are added or changed on the budget, it will be my policy to notify the court of the changes for approval or ratification. So if you all want to click on that attachment, I'll go over those by line item quickly. For the month of July, we added an account named payroll account funding. It was an expense account. It's a new account that has just been added to cover outstanding checks in the old payroll account. This action was approved to open up a new payroll account in April 27th meeting, and we went ahead and added that line item in there to transfer funds over from the general fund to the old payroll account to cover things that might be coming through there. As of July 1, we have started using our new payroll account. The next line item was added to the road fund. It is the KCO bond principal for the CAT equipment. That is also a expense line item, but that line item there was just a change. That wasn't anything new that we added to the budget. That is basically whenever Tommy had prepared the original 24 budget, we thought that the bonds were going to come for the road equipment were going to come in two parts. So he put 4 separate line items, 2 P&I for one part of the equipment and 2 P&I for the other. So when the bond payment invoice came, it came in one part. So all we done basically with those 2 line items was combine them into one so we could pay that through one line item. So that wasn't really anything other than just basically a name change, but we wanted to make the court aware of any change at all that we do to the budget. The next one is for solid waste supplies. That is an expense also. That's a new line item that was added. Recently we've started issuing handwritten receipts at the transfer station. That line item was put in there to buy supplies, mainly receipt books and things that need to be purchased online for the transfer station. The coroner call assist, this was a new expense line item. This is a call support invoice from the Round County Coroner. Those will be as needed. The next line item is also for the general fund. That is horse park maintenance and supplies. That is also an expense line item. It's new. This is for expenses for the horse park maintenance and supplies. And the next one is for coroner's training. This is also a new expense line item that will go towards coroner's training. Basically, we started adding more line items just to make sure that everything is transparent on these accounts. Instead of just kind of grouping them all into one account, we're trying to make it as visible as possible for everyone to see actually where those expenses are going to. So that's all I have on that one. We will need a motion to approve. Okay, Tommy's got one for last fiscal year.
So you'll open up the tab for fiscal year 23. You can see that this is pretty voluminous here. We had to add about 30 expense accounts and about 28 or something revenue accounts to the 23 budget. Most of it being in the revenue side. There were just so many accounts where money was being put in incorrect places for revenue purposes, and we wanted to break out revenue to exactly what it is in the budget. And we just found that there had to be several accounts that were needed to be added to the ledger. There were instances of new things that came along, of course, that, and I'm not going to get into this detail. The same thing was true with the expense side of the books. We found that there were several accounts that were lacking in the budget, that expenses were being charged to accounts that didn't fully disclose the nature of the expense. And so by adding, these accounts, we can get a much better picture of the expense and the revenue in the budget. And as Sheena said, this is going to be an ongoing type of thing, because this has been abused in the past, and we want to prevent that from happening.
Now, this creates more transparency so the citizens can get more detail and the court can get more detail on what's been spent and how it's been spent.
So we've got a
You
motion.
done? All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve changes to the budget chart of accounts for fiscal year 23 and 24.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second, or,
All right, we have a motion on the floor. It's been properly second to approve changes to the budget chart of accounts for fiscal year 23 and 24. Is there any further questions or discussion? Questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next.
Next, item 5B is the fiscal year 22 audit findings and corrections tracking document. I've been bringing this to the court ever since February meeting, and this is basically our effort to explain what we have done to try to clean up the findings that were in the 22 audit and previous audits as well. You can open that attachment. That looks familiar because you've seen this before. Some of these findings have been on the books for 4 fiscal years and not been corrected. And it's been our goal to try to correct them as best we could. And of course, we won't know that until we have audits again, but that's what that's all about. It's just an informational item for you all to review. And if you have any questions at any point about any of it, feel free to let us know.
That spreadsheet's already saved us once with KYEM when they
Yeah,
called.
yes.
And we had to, thank God he had that, so we shifted it, or we've been cut off from federal funds for about a couple of years because it was overdue. Next up, time tracking software.
5C, I actually had this in the packet last month, but I failed to get it on the agenda. And if you'll open the time and attendance software, the first item there is a little memo. And basically, the bottom line here is we have no time tracking system whatsoever. We utilize paper time cards. We have no time clocks anywhere. It's very laborious in terms of getting the time cards and getting them approved, having to key that stuff into the payroll system, and it's a poor control, a poor way to control employee time. And so I looked around some, and I found out from the Madison County Treasurer, who has since retired, that they had been using this particular software for a number of years. And what this software allows for is to have either fingerprint recognition or facial recognition devices, and we would probably have 6 or 7 of them at various places. And the employees would authenticate through those devices to clock in and clock out. There would be some cases, and I've talked to the sheriff about this, for his deputies in particular, that could actually use a cell phone to clock in and clock out. But it gives us a cloud-based solution with much better control, much better reporting, and it enables us to also have an interface with the payroll systems where the time can be uploaded into the payroll system. And as I said, I've talked to Glenn Smith, the treasurer, former treasurer in Madison County. They have used it for several years with good results. Now open up the next tab there. That's some numbers information about this software. Again, these devices are Wi-Fi based devices. So each location where they would, most of them already have Wi-Fi anyway. I think the solid waste facility would be the only one we'd have to add it to. But there's two options available for these devices. You can rent the devices for $6 or $89 a month, which runs into $11,600 and some annually. That's for the facial recognition devices, or for the fingerprint readers, it's $9,528 annually. That's if you rent them. If you purchase the devices, and of course if you purchase devices, you just get a 1-year warranty. But you get by on the facial recognition for a little under $6,000 one-time charge. And if you choose to use the fingerprint, which fingerprint is what they use in Madison County, it's about $5,400. That's for 6 devices. As I said, it may be 6 or 7, we don't know exactly. But in my mind, the much better deal would be to buy them. It's going to cost you a little bit more money up front, but you're not going to be socking out $10,000 or $15,000 every year for it. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. We just feel like that it's something we need to do to make us more efficient and to enhance our reporting and management of time, which we have very little management of it at this point. One other feature of this system is the fact that you can also assign schedules to employees, and they cannot clock in or out if they're outside that schedule. It has many options, and the options can be department level options. The sheriff can have different options than we would have in the county judge's office. So it's something that I would certainly recommend to the court to take a hard look at. Once you make a decision on this, it's probably going to take at least a couple of months, to get stuff in and get it installed and tested and that sort of thing. So if there's any questions or concerns about it, I'd be glad to try to answer those questions.
Does this software, are you able to see your vacation time on it also?
Yes.
We're doing the same thing. We went from an actual time card, looks like a credit card you just hold up, to facial recognition. We're setting those up right now all over the line, but it's great. Employees can do anything they want right there at the station.
And all the department managers, they will be responsible for reviewing their people's time and signing off on it, which saves, an enormous amount of time trying to track down time cards. And you can look at the system each day and you can see who's in and who's out,
Yeah.
who's failed to clock or whatever, it's pretty slick.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a lot more efficient because we spend a lot of time right now on paper, especially time cards.
And there's no control.
Yeah, there's no control.
There's no clock. It's a handwritten time card.
Yeah.
For
Linda, how much
everybody.
time would you say we spend on cards? Yeah,
It usually takes me a couple hours to go through all of them.
yeah, let's just go, and then by the time you circle around to the rest
I
of
go
us.
through them, then Vicky double checks me, and then they go to Sheena.
Yeah, and this will turn it over to the, it'll be the department heads, and it'll be a whole lot easier. That's time we're gonna save.
Sheriff, would you care to comment on this? Would it?
Sure, I think it'd be great. From our standpoint on things, I can't see how it could be anything but good for us. So I'm really excited about it. I'm happy with the payroll thing that we're already started, and the more we can pull everything together, the more efficient the county's going to operate. So I think it's great.
So, any more questions?
Do we know anything about the maintenance, or, there's a 1-year warranty for
Well, there's
emergency?
a 1-year warranty if you buy them. If you rent them, it's
Yeah,
an ongoing warranty, but it costs quite a bit of money. I mean, the devices are, as you can see, the devices are $9.99 each for the facial and $8.99 for the fingerprint. You'd have to tear up a lot of devices you end up spending the kind of money you're gonna spend every year for that unlimited warranty, in my opinion, anyway.
And Glenna had said, his contact said that they'd had really good luck with them as far as using them.
What would be the most luck with, facial recognition or fingerprint?
Well, they use the fingerprint, because they've been on it several years. I don't think the facial recognition, equipment was probably that well tested at that point in time, but now they're kind of pushing the facial recognition stuff
What
now.
about y'all, Eric? Is that,
Yeah, we went facial.
No, just-
Yeah, that's a whole lot better these days.
Yeah, they pulled every employee in, done the first initial,
Yeah.
and
This may be the same company, because this company they're in companies as big as McDonald's, Boeing Aircraft. I mean, they've got tens of thousands of customers all over the world.
You know, the Department of Defense uses biometrics to track contractors on the battlefield. Know where every one of them is all the time.
The
Same.
monthly license fee too is $440 per month. Either way you go.
But we don't have to make a decision tonight. I mean, we can think about this and come back next month and go on, unless you guys, it's up to you guys. I mean, but you don't have to make a decision tonight if you don't want to. If you're happy with it, then we can.
I mean, I think it's
I'm happy with myself.
I think it's something we need to do. I mean, it's time to.
Skip the 20th century and come to the 21st century.
It's
Yeah.
past time.
it's gonna benefit the employees more than what they know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be real good
I
for them.
think they'll all like it.
All right, well, if you want to, I'll entertain a motion tonight.
I'll make a motion that we purchase the facial recognition time clocks for $5,999.94 with a $440 a month license fee.
I'll second.
We have a motion on the floor to purchase the time tracking software along with the monthly license fee, and that's with the facial recognition. Is there any more questions or discussion? Questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 5D.
Okay, 5D is the depository bank assets pledged to secure MCFC deposit accounts. There's also an attachment on this one, if you all click on that. This is a report that shows that we have more money in our bank accounts at certain times than is covered by FDIC, which is $250,000 per account. The law allows the bank to secure public funds with securities. I will be monitoring the security pledging on a quarterly basis and reporting it back to the court. The bank monitors this monthly, and this process basically just assures that our accounts are being fully secured at the bank, and the auditors will be asking for this pledge of securities, and we'll be providing them with this as well. And if you all want to click on that attachment, you can kind of see there how it's pledged and showing that it's secure. And our total bank balance as of June 30, 23 is $2,257,803.90 across all accounts. And that's just something that we'll be reporting to you all quarterly, just to let you all know that that is secure.
Okay?
And that's just informational, no, don't
Yeah,
need anything
no
on
motion
that.
required, anything. This is for your information.
Yes.
5E.
5E is, since I started working on account recon, starting back in February, which we went all the way back to July and brought it forward, but for several months, we've been tracking a $2.58 difference between our books and the bank. And I had a lot more to do than to try to hunt down $2.58. It's been running about 6 months now. So I'm going to ask you to approve that I make an entry of $2.58 in the balance forward batch in 2024 to wipe that out.
Unless you want to bond it, but or we could ask Stanley, past Judge Franklin back there, maybe he'll give us a loan.
And you can see those attachments that were highlighted in yellow, the $2.58 difference in our numbers.
I make a motion, we have a reconciliation of that $2.58.
Second. All right, we have a motion on the floor to reconcile that $2.58 that we can't find, and is there any questions or discussions about it? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, 5F.
Okay, this is, 5F is the treasurer's periodic checklist. It also has an attachment for you all to view. There's 2 pages on that. This is a monthly checklist that the finance officer, Vicki Lewis, and I have created to assure that all of our monthly and quarterly reports, payrolls, tax payments, and bond payments, insurance payments are processed, submitted, paid, and checked on a timely basis. And if you all open that attachment, you can see on there, I've also included the month of June, and I'll kind of briefly go over these. We'll be submitting these to you all every month, but I'll go over it the first time, and then monthly you all can just recognize it and you'll be able to kind of see what we're doing. It'll be familiar to you. We've included all the monthly deadlines that we have to meet, the description of those, the due date, who completed it, the date it was completed, and the checker's initials, which is the finance officer. And if you go down to the month of July, the checklist, of course you'll see that we've added more to that. So we're just trying to make sure that you all are aware of everything that we're doing and that it's done on a timely basis and it's being double checked. And if you'll notice also at the bottom, July is when we do our quarterly reporting and payments, and we have already completed those for the month of July for the quarter ending June 30. Those have all been completed. So this is basically just informational to you all, but we want to just keep everyone on the same page.
This is a corrective action to stop what was, issues that we had before. And now the court can see it as well. Move along to 5G.
5G is another little issue that we've carried along for the whole year in our recon. There's been an $18.08 fund that was in the beginning balance for 23 fiscal year, and it was in a bogus fund. We don't even know what it was all about. But basically what I'm asking to do is to move that $18.08 into the general fund so we can do away with that and not have to deal with it anymore. Like I said, we never were able to figure out where it came from. And if you want, you can open the attachment and you can read there what, the narrative that I've created for it. But basically what we're doing, we're just transferring it from that bogus fund to the general fund.
So entertain a motion to approve interfund cash transfer for $18.08.
I'll make a motion.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. It's been properly second to approve the interfund cash transfer for $18.08. Any questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 5H.
Okay, 5H is a financial statement for reports ending June 30, 2023. If you all will see, there's 3 attachments over on the side. The first one is the financial statement for June 30, and we've also included in a revenue condition report and an appropriation condition report. Whenever you all want to review those, they're quite large, but that in detail tells what the financial statement includes. This financial statement reflects fund balances as of June 30. These have also been sent and submitted to DLG. And if you'll notice, the bottom portion of the report shows that this has been reconciled and the cash balances for the books and the bank matches. So I'll give you a few minutes or a few seconds there to review all that. And as of June 30, our cash balance in the general fund is $1,260,676.41. Road fund, $572,117.51. Jail fund, $41,381.79. LGEA, $4,418.23. Forest fire, $962.16, $962.16. Special projects, $43,586.64. Clerk dock fees, $12,018.14. The public properties funds, $322,643.02, with a total of $2,257,803.90. And that's as of June 30. And we will need a motion.
Yep, I entertain a motion to approve the June 30th, 2023 financial statements when you're finished reviewing.
I make a motion we approve.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor. It's been properly seconded to approve the June 30th, 2023 financial statements. Is there any further questions or discussion? Questions or discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 5I, India.
Okay, this is another financial statement. This reports as of July 27th, 2023, which is as of today, our financial standings. We just wanted you all to be aware of that too. Of course, there's also a revenue condition report attachment and an appropriation condition report attachment, which shows in detail what makes up the financial statement. I'm going to give you all a second to get that open. And you all, of course, can review those anytime. And if you have any questions about them, you can feel free to call me anytime about those. But I'll go over that just in quick detail. As of today, in the general fund, we have $1,383,430.54. In the road fund, $493,643.42. The jail fund, $81,997.70. LGEA, $4,418.23. Forest fire, $962.16. Special projects, $232,986.64. Clerk dock fees, $13,398.14. Public properties funds, $322,643.02. We just want to put all this information out there to let you all know as of today what the financial standings are. And this is the financial statement for July. We also need a motion to approve that.
I make a motion that we approve this financial statement.
I'll second.
We have a motion on the floor to approve the July 27th, 23 financial statements. Are there any further questions or discussion? Questions or discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 5J.
Okay, 5J is for fiscal year 24 budget amendment number 1, and this will be the first reading. And there's also an attachment for cash carryover adjustment amendment, if you all want to open that up. This amendment shows the adjusted cash carryover from the fiscal year 23 budget to fiscal year 24 budget. We done this basically to just adjust the estimated cash and to what was actually carried over. The majority, if you'll notice, of the cash carryover was put into the appropriate funds reserved for transfer. So I'll kind of go over that a little bit with everyone. But I just wanted to let you all know why that we're doing this and why it's important to do this the very first thing, because that trues up the budget to what's actually carried over instead of an estimated amount when we done the budget several months ago. Okay. We had a total amended revenue into the budget, which was a carryover of $725,203.90. And as you can see, that was put into, majority of it into transfers, reserved for transfers. And this, of course, will be the first reading of this. And if you have any questions at all, I'll be more than glad to answer those. But this trues up the estimated numbers to the actual cash carryover, and it puts it into our new budget and makes those totals accurate. Keeps you all aware of actually what's in those accounts.
Okay, when you're done reviewing, I'll entertain a motion to acknowledge the first reading of the fiscal year 2024 budget amendment number 1 totaling $725,203.90.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
A motion on the floor has been properly second to acknowledge the first reading of the fiscal year 2024 budget amendment number 1 totaling $725,203.90. Is there any questions or discussion? Questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 5K, kilo.
Okay, 5K is budget appropriation transfers. Also, there's an attachment for that if you all want to open that up. This budget transfer was done to transfer funds into appropriation line items as needed. I'll kind of explain that briefly to you all. We had to put in, if you remember back when we first started on the chart of accounts that I went over back at the first, you'll see that we added some of those line items in there. This kind of references back to this budget transfer, and it shows that we opened those accounts, and when you open a new account, you've got to transfer money into that account to allow expenses to come out of there. And you also can see where in the general fund, the corner cost is corner training. Reapportionment board was a new one. LATCF funds, that was truing that up because we spent in the last fiscal year on the website $4,200. Of course, I went over all that before and the next few, and we put that, and most of that come from the reserve for transfers. And we had to, in the road fund, where we combined the two P&I line items for the equipment and made them into one, so we could pay that out of one. We also had a little 20-cent, I guess, a little error on there, and so we corrected that so that line item would be accurate. And in the jail fund, we had the health insurance reimbursement with CAPA. This is something when we done the budget earlier on in the year, we were still working with them to see how much we were actually going to be needing to spend out for health insurance reimbursement. The jail budget had already been done, so we added money into that line item to cover what our monthly expense is for that. And that basically just tells you it's $123,012.20, and you can see that they match on both sides, the transfer in and the transfer out. But we will need a motion to approve those.
All right.
If you have any questions.
So I'll entertain a motion to approve budget appropriation transfers totaling $123,012.20.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion on the floor. It's been properly second to approve the budget appropriation transfers totaling $123,000.12.20. Any discussion or questions? Discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 5, Lima.
Yep. Okay, this is the vendor claims payments since the last meeting. These are 2 attachments also. We sent out your packet, of course. We had a summary in that because sometimes the pages are so thick, and when we sent it out, we sent you the summary for you all to review. These are the claims that were paid since the last meeting. These payments were approved to pay on standing order or previously approved to pay by court approval. And we also included for you all to review at any time a detailed list also. But these have already been paid out. You'll notice we just need a motion to ratify the vendor claims to let you all acknowledge. We just want you to see everything that goes in and comes out of the office. I'll give you time to review all of those. And if you have any questions.
Once you're finished reviewing, I'll entertain a motion to ratify vendor claims paid since the last meeting of the fiscal court totaling $370,388.86.
I'll make a motion to ratify the vendor claims.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor to ratify vendor claims paid since the last meeting of the fiscal court totaling $370,388.86. Any further questions or discussion? Questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 5M, Mike.
This is the vendor claims list to be approved for payment. This is basically just a list of the vendor claims that we present each month to be paid. And we've also included a summary and a vendor claims detail. When we sent your all's packet out, we have, if you'll notice on the 3rd attachment, there's an additional vendor claims that you all probably had not seen. All the rest of them are exactly the same as we sent out in your packet. There's 4 items, 4 vouchers listed on there, and one of them was for an animal shelter expenditure, which is our copier over there. We just hadn't received the invoice yet, and Vicki done a detail and put it separate so that way you all would see this was just submitted today. And then we had, of course, the reapportionment board payments, and that's just a one-time payment, and we wanted to include those also for you all to view, but we'll just need a motion to approve to pay the bills.
So once you're finished reviewing, I'll entertain a motion to approve the vendor claims presented for payment in the amount of $152,744.75.
I'll make a motion to pay the vendor claims.
I second.
We have a motion on the floor. It's been properly seconded to pay the vendor claims presented for payment in the amount of $152,744.75. Any questions or discussion? Questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, fiscal year 23 treasurer settlement.
Item number 6 is my 2023 fiscal year settlement for the court. The first page has a cover letter that explains some of the following information. The treasurer settlement is required by statute KRS 68020 and KRS 424-220. And there are certain forms of information that are required in those statutes. And the following items, statement of revenue is a summary of the revenue receipts by fund, showing the revenue for each respective line item in the 23 budgets. And also there's a report called the Statement of Receipts, and that summarizes the revenue by fund, showing the receipts for each respective source of revenue. There's a Statement of Appropriations, that summarizes expenditures by fund, showing the total funds expended for each respective appropriation line item. And there's also a Statement of Claims that summarizes the expenditures by fund, showing the total paid each respective vendor for the fiscal year. There's also a comprehensive detailed report that basically recaps by fund the beginning balance of each fund, plus sources of revenue by budget classification, including fund transfers in, less expenditures by budget classification, including fund transfers out, and it arrives at a respective ending fund balance for June 30th, 2023. And lastly, there is a certification letter that's required. This document is provided by an official of Commercial Bank, which is our depository, and it certifies the accounts of the Morgan County Fiscal Court that were open on their books as of June 30th, along with the respective bank balance of each on June 30th. If you just, all the other items are down in 6A through 6F. I know this is a whole lot of information. Don't expect you to look at every single line item of it tonight, but it's my understanding from what I've gone back and done some research that there had been a treasurer's settlement filed in a great number of years to this court, and we wanted to make sure that we got it done this time. Now this will be publicized, and the way we're going to do that, the new website is almost ready to be kicked off. It's kind of in skeleton form right now, but we will publish a link in the local newspaper to a page in that website that will contain this information, and that's how it will be published to the citizens. If there's any questions or comments about this, I'll be glad to try to answer those, or if you have anything as you review this later on, just feel free to reach out to me. Judge, we'll need a motion to accept that.
Upon you finishing your reviewing there, if you entertain a motion to approve fiscal year 2023 treasurer settlement.
I make a motion that we approve his settlement.
Second. I'll second it.
We have a motion on the floor to approve the fiscal year 2023 treasurer settlement. Any questions, concerns, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 7.
This is an update on the CAECO bond issue sale and closing. We had previously been advised that the sale would be in the latter part of June. The closing would be in the early part of July. But due to the lateness of the state local debt officer finalizing the bond hearing, which happened on July the 5th, the sale of the bonds was pushed up to July the 18th. We got a rate of 3.38% for 10 years. And the final closing on the bonds will be on August the 8th. All the vendors, which are the vendors to do with their arrears bills, have been notified of this delay. And they are very, very understanding of it. Just wanted to just bring you up to date on that.
All right. Number 8.
Number 8 is the reapportionment ordinance for first reading tonight. You remember Randy discussed this a meeting or two back, and the reapportionment board has had their meeting and has made their decisions. And I'll just read this by title: an ordinance pursuant to KRS 67045, adopting a report of the Reapportionment Commission and reestablishing the boundary lines of the existing magisterial districts, adopting a map of same, and fixing compensation of the Reapportionment Commission. So this is the first reading. We just need a motion to acknowledge that, Judge.
I entertain a motion to acknowledge.
I'll make a motion to acknowledge the first reading.
And everything stayed the same, right? Yeah.
Everything
That's what I was
stays the
reading there, so.
It all stayed the same. There was some questions because of the EKCC was put into the population. When I was down at Gateway, I asked them to take that out and let me see it, and it put it a little bit above. But the board, the commission came together and felt it was all right.
Good.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. It's been properly second to acknowledge the first reading of the reapportionment ordinance. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 9.
Okay, number 9 is the findings of the state local debt officer concerning the KCO bond issue hearing on June 29th, 2023. There's also an attachment for you all to view. This is record of the decision that was made. This should be in the minutes, the decision that was made by the state and local finance officer in accordance with KRS 65.9.940. The attachment, I'll kind of review it with you all. The decision of the state and local debt officer is that they approve and adopts the findings and recommendations of the hearing officer as his own, and that Morgan County Fiscal Court request to enter into the lease is approved. So this is just something that we need to have acknowledged in the minutes, that it was approved for us to go issue into the bond, or to go into the lease agreement, I'm sorry.
So
We just need a motion.
after your review, I'll entertain a motion that the court recognizes the findings of the state local debt officer from the hearing on June 19th, 2023 regarding the KCO bond issue.
I'll make a motion on the bond issue.
I'll second it.
We have a motion on the floor. It's been properly seconded for the fiscal court to recognize the findings of the state local debt officer from the hearing on June 19th, 2023 regarding the KCO bond issue. Is there any further questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 10.
Number 10 is just a piece of information I put together for the court. It's a pie chart. If you open that up, it just shows the various sources of tax revenue that's received by the fiscal court each fiscal year. As you can see, payroll tax amounts to 63% of our tax income. Property tax at 9%. Insurance premiums at 18%. Franchise at 7%. Federal payment in lieu of 2%. And deed tax 1%. I just thought it might be interesting for you to see that bit of information in a graphic format.
Okay. Number 11.
Number 11 is a Sourcewell proposal for a new road department pickup truck. The pickup truck that Terry is driving, I think is, Terry, what is it, 10 years old or something, or 12? They've already been out quite a bit of money on it. And I think it's getting ready to quit again, I understand.
It is.
But Terry asked me to look about pricing a short wheelbase pickup truck, F-150 or that size. It just so happened that what they quoted was a Ford F-150 single cab short wheelbase, 4-wheel drive. That's what he wanted. This is a Sourcewell quote. So this is a quote that's already been negotiated through the government agency. It has to do with source well, so there wouldn't be any bidding required. Like most other vehicles, there's a lead time on this. If you decide to do it, it could be up to 6 months. But the quote for the pickup truck is $41,117.35. That's an 8.2% savings over MSRP. And if you want to delve into the specs, there's more information attached there. You know, as far as financing is concerned with this, we would have the wherewithal, I believe, to pay for this if we wanted to, but we could always also finance it through KCO if we chose to do that. You know, we ended up with a pretty good carryover in the road fund, that, you know, that helped us overside some, and so that's the information I have for you.
And I think the plan for the old truck is to put it in the auction that we got coming up pretty soon.
What would be the fastest way to get one, Tom?
Eric, I don't really know, to be honest with you. I mean, they're telling me that this could be October, maybe November. Most all, and I also quoted some other. He asked me to look at some other trucks, and it was about the same story for them. Before we decided, you know, want something a little smaller. It's just like everything else. They're just supply chain issues, and it's just hard to find them. But this National Auto Fleet Group is a part of part of that Sourcewell. I mean, they call this fellow, and within about 2 to 3 hours, you got a quote. And they'll follow it through and deliver it right out front here if that's what you want to do.
So they have a pretty good supply that they go through.
Yeah, I mean,
available to them.
They've got all different kinds of brands and various kinds of trucks, you know, are coming in. But he said at this current time, this was the most available one he had, but it was still out several months.
And they source from all over the nation, right? I mean, that's the
that's
nationwide,
what I
so
was
that's what
talking
you're
about.
getting at.
I mean, what Sourcewell does, and we didn't really, or at least I didn't know about Sourcewell at the time we was bidding stuff before, but I dug in a little bit and found out about it. Sourcewell is actually a government agency in the state of Minnesota, but what they have done, they have qualified with equipment and vehicle manufacturers and done all the bidding legal work that we would have to do on our own to buy anything. They've already done it, and they negotiate these deals with the manufacturers. And so all you basically got to do, if you find what you want, is just they'll quote you, and if you decide that's what you want, they'll put your name on the list, and when it shows up, you pay for it.
It cuts out the middleman.
Yeah, I mean, and it's, you know, from what I've been able to see around about, it's fairly prevalent in some of the other agencies. You'll recall that I used some information that I gathered from, I think it was Carroll County, to help put the first bids together for the tractors. Well, I saw all kinds of Sourcewell stuff in their on their webpage.
Yeah.
And I think the cities even use Sourcewell or something as I too.
Yeah, I think, they tried.
We done I guess, kind of a Zoom meeting the other day with Sourcewell, and they have all kinds of different things that you can go through with them to retrieve. They have a lot of different vendors for a variety of different things.
Even contracting and construction.
Yes, they are very helpful. And they'll very tentative. They'll walk you through everything step by step.
This ain't gonna be as loaded as the one you got.
What would be the best way
This is not
about
gonna be as fancy.
paying for this, going through KCO or just
We
paying
can do
for
it either. I feel like we could pay for it if we wanted to out of the road fund money, but if we decided we wanted to finance it, we can do that too. I mean, we don't have to make that decision right away.
We can contact Keiko and see
You know, we
what
can
they
talk to
kinda
Lonnie
say.
about it and, you know, get some ideas, but you know, 3 or 4 months down the road, I don't know what interest rates will be. They're still
Yeah.
going up.
Well, I think they're going up again here
Well,
pretty
they
soon.
went up
way they
again
talk.
yesterday.
Yeah, they
Yesterday.
went up
Yeah.
yesterday. Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, there's interest rate risk involved in the deal, but again, I believe we could pay for it out of our front pocket if we wanted to.
I'll make a
Be good
motion, we
with
get
it.
it.
Aren't we gonna have about that much left over out of the bond money? Once we pay everything?
We'll have a little bit, not quite that much. Maybe $15,000 or something.
Yeah, time we sell that other
But see, we carried over $300-some-thousand
Yeah, that's
in
gonna help a whole lot.
Well, that's what we're
or
hoping.
$200-some-thousand in the road fund that we didn't estimate in the budget, you know, so.
Will they take it to trade in?
I doubt it.
I
I
doubt
don't think so.
it. The way it sounds, I doubt it.
I don't think so.
We'll throw in that.
Better go out there and listen to that thing.
Yeah, they could hear us coming a mile away.
Yeah, I'm fearful for Terry's safety out there on the road. We can't lose our foreman.
And the four-wheel drive don't work all the time, or it didn't one time before, so.
Well,
I make a motion that we purchase it some way, whichever way you all decide fit to.
Well, you know, we'll come back to you with some sort of an option down the
Yeah.
road.
We'll come back on that. We'll keep you posted on that. So you're making a motion to go through Sourcewell, just to start out there and see what to go
I'll
through?
second.
All right. We have a motion on the floor. It's been properly seconded to approve the purchase of a new 2023 Ford F-150 pickup truck for the road department through the Sourcewell procurement process via National Auto Fleet Group for $41,117.35. Any further questions or discussion? Questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, number 12, Sheena.
This is just for your all's information and to put in the minutes. This is the county judge executive updated signatory designation. There's also an attachment of that. This is just updating the designated signers, removing myself and adding Vicki Lewis and keeping Linda Bradley as signers if the judge was ever unable to sign the checks for bills or payroll. And that's just, we'll need that in the minutes,
Okay,
if you all want to review that also. And that's all I have on that.
Doesn't require a motion.
no, yeah.
No motion.
Get ready to go. Going along, 13,
This is incentive pay for Magistrate Brandon Evans. We'll need a motion to
to approve his
it.
incentive training payment for Brandon Evans in the amount of $4,983.24 for calendar year 2023, and he will abstain.
I'll make a motion, we pay Brandon Evans.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. It's been properly second to improve the incentive training payment for Magistrate Brandon Evans in the amount of $4,983.24 for calendar year 2023. Any questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That's a lot of training.
Yeah.
I don't know how you did it.
Abstain.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of diapers. Yeah, maybe not. Well, the price of diapers is going up. Might get you a few boxes. All right. Number 14.
Number 14 is an issue that we ran into, if you recall, when Judge Gazay first came in office, we took discovery that all the gasoline that was being used was being delivered to the road department, being paid for by the road department, and being used by all the agencies of government, basically. And so in order to get better control over that situation, and we had a history with WEX, back when I was treasurer before, we opted to go with WEX and to issue, and there's a resolution here that talks about this. WEX is a global commerce platform, and the way this works, gas cards are assigned to certain employees, and each of those is given a unique PIN number, and it's by department for the procurement of gasoline. So they can go to any service station, they got to key in their PIN number, they got to put the mileage of the vehicle in, the whole 9 yards, and it works really well, and we get a very detailed accounting of that each month. Well, the issue has been with this, we do this through an online portal, and if we try to pay this with a check, the way the cutoff time of the bill and versus when our meetings are, we can't get the bills paid in time without doing it online. And so I've talked to a former treasurer about how they handled it in their county, and what she suggested to us is that we adopt a resolution that would authorize the treasurer to pay the WEX billing online each month when we get the bill, and then bring that bill to the court the next month for them to review. Now, if you want to open up the next attachment there, you can see the WEX bill, and you can see the detail that's on that bill. This is a 10,000 times better control over the expenditure of money for gasoline than we had to start this year with. It's all there, every bit of it, by department. Even the person's name that has the card.
Breaks it down to the individual, so we know
And
exactly.
we charge it by department
Mhm.
to their department. It don't all get charged in one place. So that's what we're asking, that you give us that authority, you give Sheena that authority to pay that bill online, and then provide that detailed bill to you at the next meeting.
I make a motion that we pay the bill online.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion to adopt a resolution concerning the WEX fuel card issues and recommendations, and allow the treasurer to pay the bill online and bring the WEX bill to the following month. Any questions or discussion? Questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
We also have a similar issue. You recall that you gave us authority to get a credit card for use of buying stuff through Amazon, to buy online software, and to use at Costco. And we're running into a similar issue with that, is we can't get the payment made if we wait for the bill to be reviewed in the court meeting. We can't get the payment made before the late charges kick in. So we're asking essentially for the same authorization, that you authorize the treasurer to pay the Elon billing each month, and we would do it online, and to present that detailed bill to the next regular court meeting. And there's a copy of I guess the bill for July attached there. You can see the items that, but essentially the same thing as with the WEX.
So I'll entertain a motion to adopt a resolution concerning Amazon account issues and recommendations to pay the bills with that credit card that you previously authorized us to use, and then bring that bill the following month back to the court for your approval and review.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. It's been properly seconded to adopt this resolution concerning the Amazon account issues and recommendations, and pay the bills, give the treasurer the authority to pay the bills, and then bring the bill the following month for approval by the fiscal court. Any further questions or discussion? Questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, number 16. This is concerning the we had an old resolution, I guess, the splash pad. We talked about that situation before a couple months ago. Went back to Gateway to discuss this, and the other day, there was a firm that was brought up to do the building of this. It was a New Jersey firm. Me and Tommy called the firm, and Sheena, we sat there, and don't know how they got chosen for this, but it's a New Jersey firm. Talked to them, they said they no longer had a dog in this fight, and they were willing to drop out. They said they put no money forward, and it was no skin off their nose. So to get this back on track again, because we're already committed to this from, previously last year. And I told you we've taken the amphitheater will be taken out. That won't be in there. And that'll reduce the cost of our budget. But also I'm moving this to next year too. But we need to re-advertise the engineering and architectural services. So I need approval for the resolution relating to the amphitheater and splash pad project. And all that does is just allows us to go back out and re-advertise again and start the process over and go with a different company.
I'll make that motion. I'll second it, or doesn't matter.
So all right, we have a motion on the floor. Definitely, we definitely got a motion on the floor. It's been properly second to approve this resolution relative to the amphitheater and splash pad project to advertise for a new engineering and architectural services. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 17, Morgan County Tourism Project Resolution. And this is the one for the, all right, we got a grant from state tourism, and they asked us if we wanted, and I said yes, money, and approximately 17,000 some dollars. We also got an ask ARC, Appalachian Regional Commission, for a grant. They gave us an additional 5,000. This is going to be used to set up a strategic plan and set up a website, and all the videography and photographs and the development of that website is while we need this resolution. This came from Gateway Ad, and they asked for us to do this tonight so we can advertise for the services and do all this. Is there any questions about it? I mean, it's pretty much all there in the first paragraph. And Gateway Ad is working on this, and they're doing the whole ball game. Wendy Lawson up there's got it.
Looks good. I make a motion that we approve resolution for the tourism project.
Second.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. It's been properly seconded to approve the resolution relative to the tourism project. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Childers Bridge. We got a call from the state, and they would like for us to take that out of the system. I believe, Terry, you went down there and looked at it. We got one house on that road, and I think it's past the date. There's not enough families that live on the side of it, and the state says it needs to come out of the system. There used to be two houses over there. There's one now. They actually have a sign on the front of the bridge that says no trespassing. So somebody's put that up there.
Well, I'll make a motion to take it out of the road system.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. It's been properly seconded to take Childers Bridge out of the road system. Any further questions or discussion? Questions or discussion?
You said there was a no trespassing sign there?
Yeah, I'll send you the picture.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's no trespassing sign, then we don't need to maintain
Yeah,
it.
they're on the front of the bridge. It says no trespassing. The state went out there and said, So how many, you've been out? I've been out there once too. I couldn't get up with nobody, so I don't know. But the bridge is getting past that, and it needs to come out of the system anyway. And only one house over there. Doesn't fall within our. We got TV. So, any further questions or discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. We can skip the next one. They've withdrawn. They left. I think that person left too. So they're both gone. They've withdrew. Old Dittany Ridge Road, John McClurg, you want to address the court?
I was going to request.
Use that microphone, please. Thank you.
I was going to.
You're on.
I was going to request that it be discontinued tonight, but I've been reconsidering some things, and I'd like to table that for a month if I could.
Okay, yeah. And we have no problem with that. We'll table that till next month.
Okay.
All right, thanks, John. Appreciate you coming out. Sorry you had to wait so long. Long Road, Brandon, I believe that's you.
Yeah, Long Road, there's 3 houses on it, and what I would like to do is extend it 400 feet to the last house on the road. Total mileage, I don't know. It's, what is it, Terry? It's what, probably 2/10 of a mile, maybe? Is it 1,000 feet for the whole road? There's 3 houses on it. I would just like to extend it 400 feet to the last house on the road, maintain it.
Is that over the Woods Bend area?
It's off of 705,
Okay.
yes, past Woods Bend there.
I think I've been on that road. There's enough, it's a good road.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
There's
good, it's a good solid road. There's a good ditch line on it. I mean, it's a good solid road. You know, as far as maintaining, it won't take much to maintain it, will it, Terry?
Make a motion, we extend it.
I'll second it.
Hold on a second. You can never extend a road to the very last house because that would just be serving one house and one family. You can only go to the second to last house anytime you're trying to add a road.
Well, we're not adding the road miles. We're just going to extend it.
Well, you can extend a road. You are adding a road. When you say that you're putting more road, that is adding a road. I mean, yes, it might be the same name, but we're putting county resources into moving a road farther and farther. You can't ever just go to one house. That's forbidden by state statute.
Do you know that statute off the top of your head, Miles? I've never seen that before.
No, it's in the magistrate handbook that you all get. I'd be happy to look it up tomorrow. I'm of course not there, but this is very well known. You can never just put a road. You can never just extend a road to one house. There's always a road that is provided for by the county and resources provided by the county can never just go to one road. It can go to the second to last house, but if we extended a road beyond the second to last house, then every dollar that we're using there is being used for one house.
Yeah, but that one house is a taxpayer, so they don't get any say in this?
Well, yeah, I mean, they have a say-so in it, but the statute says that you can't just, beyond that second to last house, it's only being used for that last house.
Okay. We'll table it till the next meeting then. And I've got that handbook at home. I've read it. I've never seen that, but we'll table it to the next meeting.
I mean, it plainly says it in there. I mean, I don't know how long it is, whether it's 5 foot or whether it's a half a mile.
Yeah.
Every dollar that would be expended to go to that last house is being used for one home. And as a public road and as a county road, we have to serve multiple homes. Otherwise, it's just a private drive.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and table it now, and we'll bring it up at the next meeting, and Miles will get that KRS, and you look in your book, and we'll go from there at the next meeting. Is that good with everyone?
That's fine.
That's good.
All right, thanks, Miles. All right, moving along. New hires, transfer station and snack bar. Jefferson, you want to come up and introduce your new employee? As you may or may not know, we had one employee that's resigned, and we needed to find a replacement. We went to our applications of people that applied, and we found Andrea here. And Jefferson will introduce her and talk to her and tell you about it, but she is a veteran. She's 3 years Navy, and I'll steal that part.
I was gonna say, if you're gonna take that, go ahead.
Yeah, she's 3 years Navy, 4 years National Guard. She's got a background in supply logistics, and I think she can operate equipment too. I think she's gonna be getting there, so I'll go ahead and turn the rest over, but I just had to add that part about the Navy. Go Navy.
Hi, my name's Andrea Dyer, and I just moved here not too long ago. I've been here a few weeks. Like the judge said, I'm ex-Navy, ex-Army National Guard. I've got 30 plus years in customer service, 20 plus years working cash registers, that kind of thing. I've done 10 plus years doing security.
Been a trainer?
Yeah, I've trained employees. I've been management, assistant management, and off and on throughout all those years also. And there's not been a piece of equipment or a vehicle that I've not been able to drive yet, so.
And somebody once recently said the other day to me that it's about time we got some women down there to show those guys how things should be done down there. I think it was Donnie said that. I'm calling you out. Anybody got any questions for her? All right. Okay, thank you. You can, and be seated. Kathy, I believe you got a new employee. Do you want to come up and talk? Is she here?
No, she's not here.
All right, well, you can talk about
Do
her.
I need to just tell her name?
Yeah.
The new employee is Selena Nickel. She goes to Moorhead, doesn't she? To
Yeah.
Moorhead State.
Moorhead, yeah.
Good worker, good girl. We're really pleased with her.
Yeah,
so far.
and she's getting her degree in
Food service.
food service diet. She's going to be a dietitian, so
Yes.
this is a perfect place for her to
Yeah, it
start her
is.
career out.
She's a good worker. We're really pleased
Yeah.
to have her. I wish she would have been here, though. But
All right, that's good enough. But
Okay.
if there's got any questions for Kathy about Selena? And we've lost a lot of our seasonal hires up there. They're gone. They all went back to.
yeah, and I'm getting ready to lose 2.
And we're ready to lose 2 more, so we
Yeah.
got to start bulking up.
So that'll put us down to 4, I think.
Yeah, so I'll be bringing some more to you next month. We got to meet next week and go through the applications and hire some more. But
Is she full-time, part-time, or?
Part-time as needed.
yeah, and Andrea's part-time as well.
Yeah.
Okay, both of them part-time?
Both of them are part-time.
Part-time as needed.
We're not running them off because of the cruising, are we?
I don't know.
So I entertain a motion to ratify the new hires, Selena Nickel and Andrea Dyer.
I make a motion that we hire, open up the names.
Ratify.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion on the floor to ratify new hires, Selena Nickel and Andrea Dyer. Motion been properly second. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Are we doing a road department report tonight? I don't think, you want to table that? Or you got anything? We already have it? Okay.
His
all right.
report's in the material.
Oh, it's in the material, so, all right.
If he gets a new truck, he ought to be ready.
I've got a lot of questions for him tonight.
I think this is a first. Have we ever seen the foreman up here in front of the microphone, other than, when we had to drag him up?
Drag me up, didn't you? All right, here's gas usage, 280 gallon, diesel was 821, and that was running 3 tractors, 2 brush cutters on the diesel. There's the jobs completed. Y'all look through them, and on the other pages, show what we got to do. and you look through them, and here's a list of our equipment we're gonna sell. Y'all wanna look through that. That's all I've got.
Wow.
Is that quick enough?
Oh,
You've done a real job putting this on the computer, Terry.
Yeah. We're proud of you, Terry. How many hours did it take you to type these 2 pages up?
It took a long time.
Yeah, I bet. A couple days probably.
Didn't find a lot of letter on there.
Yeah, I know. And
I would say, I was told that y'all done a good job, and they did on a few roads that I looked at, about mowing. They did get off the road this time.
We were doing a real job with the track.
You say them blades we got's working good too?
Yeah, we've been using them, some this week, we're working up to that.
Good.
no, when this new truck comes in, we expect you to be out there. Yeah, now, no more excuses about that truck's not running, all
The
right?
roads ride better than, won't they?
All right. Transfer station?
You say this equipment sale October.
We were gonna,
We haven't set a date.
No date yet.
We gotta get everything gathered up first.
Yeah.
There's a tentative date, the road department, Terry and them had discussed about possibly the end of September.
September.
Maybe around September 30th, but that's tentative.
It's just tentative. We're trying to wait till it cools off a little bit so we can get people out.
And get more stuff together with
Yeah.
other agencies.
Yeah, we're gonna work with the water district and
The
sheriff's
sheriff's
office, and he's got some stuff, so we're gonna make it a multi, you
Yeah,
know.
combined it, and have a big set.
All right, Jefferson, you're on.
Afternoon. Like Sheena, this will be my first time giving a report at the meeting. What I plan to do is the month previous, so July's will be in August and so on and so forth. So all the numbers I'm giving today are for June. June's total operating costs for the transfer station was $26,246.44. Almost half of that was for Rumpke's disposal fee at $12,191.08. Our income from the dumping fee and metal recycling was $15,541.50. Unfortunately, that's leaving the transfer station at a $10,704.94 deficit for the month of June. And since I've been there, I've been looking at the facility as a whole. I've found several safety issues that I'm addressing. There's not a barrier there to prevent anybody from backing up into the trailer. As some of the employees down there have been told me, there have been several instances where somebody has backed up, thought they hit the brake pedal, hit the gas, and next thing you know, we got a personal vehicle sitting inside the trailer down there. See, we're also lacking proper facilities for our staff, and a lot of it's OSHA compliance that we need to have, such as well, the only running water we have is from a spigot that's behind the building, and because of that, we don't have any toilet facilities. All there is a porta-john. It does get cleaned out, it does get taken care of, but still, it's 99 degrees outside. You guys can imagine what that thing's like. It's not the prettiest. The spiders have moved out. See, they have no place to wash their hands. We're dealing with trash. I mean, blunt and honestly, guys, this is nasty stuff. We just had a customer come in here at the last minute, had 4 mattresses on it, and they were crawling with bed bugs. And not to mention, you've got food waste, and God only knows what else they're bringing in there. And our guys are out there. Yeah, we have gloves, but still, you're in that environment, and you need to wash your hands. The hand sanitizer can only take you so far. And, we're spraying ourselves down with it, but still, we'd like to have somewhere to wash our hands. Likewise, no eye wash station. If something gets in your eyes, metal, biological, whatever, we can't wash our eyes out except if you got a bottle of water. That's a health and safety issue big time.
Mm-hmm.
Again, no shower station. God forbid if somebody were to get, I know we don't deal with the hazard chemicals, but diesel fuel that we do have, hydraulic fluid, there are other things that if were a person to be covered in it, they would need to shower off because that stuff will burn the skin. A nice pleasant thing would have is there's no break area. These guys, they're sitting in I call it a hut.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes there's 3 of them. That's the only place they can go. It does have air conditioning, but I've seen supply closets bigger than this place. And they're piled up on top of each other. So they need a place to at least step back, get away from the customers for a minute, get out of the heat, have lunch, do something other than sit there. And again, the cramped quarters in the pay window, or as I call it, the hut. Also, there's no guardrails for the scale. There's been several instances where cars are pulling onto the scale. You really can't see the edge of the scale, and they'll inadvertently just drive off the side of it. So we've had a couple times like that. People run off, and I believe it was Eddie's telling me one person just ran completely off of it and had his front wheels on the bottom and his back wheels sitting up top spinning, and he couldn't go anywhere. And of course, if we were to use our equipment, we would be liable if we damaged their vehicle. So it's kind of one of those things that, we want to help, but we can't.
Catch-22.
Yeah, because then they have to call a wrecker service, and then that backs up the facility. And next thing you know, we're getting a lot of complaints going, what's going on up here. Another concern is the water runoff from 460. During a lot of heavy rains, a lot of the trash that gets blown around is getting washed out down into the Licking River, down into the watershed. EPA, a few years to talk to us about that. They addressed it with an abatement. There, if you look down there, there's a berm going all the way down the concrete pad. But however, coming from the barn, if you look on the back side of the road, you'll see a rut.
Yeah.
And that's one of the areas where the water washes down. I spoke with Terry about this, trying to figure out a good project, and it's kicking the can down the road. We take care of the water problem at the transfer station. It puts water on a county road, and then we're back to square one with the EPA. So there's really, it's like you said, it's a catch-22.
It's catch-22.
Another thing that I noticed, and I about got in trouble with, is the overhead power lines are directly over the dump station. We operate heavy equipment down there, and the day I was down there helping out, I about put the boom into the power lines. I didn't realize it at the time. Luckily, I just looked up in time. Another employee said that they have hit the line. Luckily, it's the negative. So, but this could be potentially fatal if we got people down there that aren't paying attention or not aware of the situation. Other issues I found, and it's a really big one, is we have out-of-county residents using the transfer station because it is the cheapest around. I had a gentleman from Mount Sterling come down to dump at our station, and he said, "Man, you guys are cheap." And so, it's no stretch of the imagination that we have Wolfe County, Elliott, Rowan, all the surrounding counties are coming here. And there's another form, if you guys want to pull that up, that is our permit form from Kentucky EPA that states it is Morgan County only. If we knowingly and willingly take trash from other counties, that could set us up for a potential fine. So, and then also sets Rumkip for a potential fine because they have to have the paperwork to accept trash from those counties as well. It can create a huge mess. Another thing we're looking at, or I'm looking at, are the businesses around here are coming down with construction waste, furniture, what have you, and then they're putting that into our station. And the problem is a lot of this construction waste, you can't compact it down. There's one fella, he came down and he had 2x4s and just 6, decking boards and whatnot. They threw into the trailer, and no matter how much we smashed it, we couldn't compact it down. And the problem with that is it's taken away from the residents who are coming down to get rid of their trash because they don't have a trash service or whatnot, or they just rather take care of it themselves. So it's filling up our trailer faster than that. And as of right now, Rumpke came and got their tractor that was under their trailer, and to get it repaired, and we have not had a replacement. And because we could not move their tractor due to our equipment being down, I had to make the call on a Wednesday, I do believe, at 3 o'clock to close early. And that's because the trailer could not take any more. Well, I believe I had to turn away 5 residents, and I took a good cussing on that, but it had to be done.
Yeah.
And the EPA will not allow us to throw bagged trash on the ground because it could, again, go into the watershed, get blown around, health and safety issues. They kind of look at with the furniture. You guys probably seen that piled up. We try to hold that off to last because it's so bulky and takes up all that space. But we're having problems. It seems like every other day someone throws a switch and it's bring your furniture down to the
Did you
dump.
have a hotel bring a bunch of mattresses and?
I'm not sure exactly as to where
I think
they
that
are.
happened before you came on board.
Yeah, we've had some guys there at the station, they've kind of whispered to me that, oh, that's so-and-so, they got a bunch of apartments, whatnot, and they come in, all the clean out from their apartments, they bring down to us, and then it just piles up, and it's a mess. Let's see. We also, our scale right now, I was talking with the consultant, and right now we're split weighing any trailer loads that come in there. That's a violation of Kentucky Department of Agriculture.
Yeah, those scales were put in after the tornado. They were put in there for weighing tornado waste.
Yeah.
It's not the proper scales that we should have down there for.
Yeah, I believe it's a 20-foot scale. I mean, it's perfect for residential.
Yeah.
But when we have a lot of commercial vendors come in, they like to use trailers or so
Which
on.
makes it hard
And
for us to get a proper
yeah,
weight.
yeah. They say it's close enough, but I'd rather have it exact because we have to pay for Rumpke to remove this waste for us.
Exactly, but somebody brings a trailer in and we charge them $68. If you go to another county, that's $215.
Exactly. That's why they're coming to us.
That's why they come to us.
So, but on a good note, current projects, I've been obtaining quotes for a portable building, whether it be one of the Amish-built buildings from Creekside or one of the other local vendors around here. I've also, I've looked at having one of the construction trailers pulled on. As of right now, I have to get in touch with Frankfurt because they have to have certain building codes and to their liking and understanding, so I'm trying to get a hold of all those forms. I've contacted the State Road Department over an index to secure some guardrail so that I can put that up top, so that might prevent somebody from backing in. I'm open to any ideas to how we could probably keep people from tripping and falling in, because we have had people actually fall into it. There's one gentleman a few years back actually fell all the way to the bottom and pretty bad shape. So let's see. We got new signs. I put up a Morgan County resident sign only. And just I want to be on the record, we do not accept tips at the transfer station. We are a government entity. We do not take tips. We are here to serve the people, and we're not a restaurant. We're not anything. So when your bill is $2.50 and you give me $3, I'm giving you 50 cents back. Don't just say keep the change. Don't walk off. Give me a few seconds to get the money right, because that could be misinterpreted in a bunch of different ways. That could be a bribe, favoritism, a myriad of things.
That goes by the code of ethics, which this body already adopted.
As far as the scale, we're getting a quote on a scale. I just talked with Doug. He's supposed to be getting back with me. Finally got a quote on the concrete to have the abatement for the scales or whatnot. Each side of the scale, it's required by law there be a 10-foot level section. Ours is not. The front is fine, but when you come off the scale, it almost goes into a dip, so that is also costing us weight. See, also, I said I acquired. Mountain Metals was supposed to drop off a metal box today. They're supposed to be here this afternoon. I don't know what happened with the truck. I haven't got word from them, but that hasn't showed up yet. But they are there, so we can put our scrap metal into a bin, and we can stop dumping that on the ground. If you walk over to our station, there's metal bits and pieces and parts just strewn all about the area. And I'm bringing that in so we can start cleaning that up. Trying to make this dump or this transfer station look decent.
And we get paid, they buy that off us.
Yes. Yeah, there is a transfer fee to come and swap out the containers, but we can
Gets us out of the hauling. Gets us out of the hauling.
Yes, it gets us out of the hauling, no wear and tear on our vehicles. You've probably seen Randall driving back and forth to Grassy Auto and to take off all the refrigerators and so on. My plan with this is that we can sit there and cram this thing full. They come up, they swap it out. You know, there's a swap out fee, like I said. But in the long run, we should either make a little bit more money or definitely, you know, break even. That's what I'm shooting for right now, is break even.
Break even.
I don't want to make money off the people of this county. I just want to break even and provide a service. So, and again, that's where the new scale comes on. Let's see. And there's been a question. We are still accepting tires. I don't know how that rumor got started that we're not. I'm in the process of looking for a more cost-effective way to dispose of our tires. We currently charge $2 for a tire. Our disposal fee to the county is $3. So for every tire we take in, the county loses $1. I'm trying to turn that around to at least where we can break even again. There's one part in here, I don't think it's on your forms, but I did add it down, that our equipment that we have down there. Terry might want to argue with me on this one, but the road department has on loan the backhoe and excavator that we've been using down there. They come down, they fill it up. We're supposed to take it to them, get it greased, and I've implemented a new log down there so that it's a heavy equipment log, so it's specifically for what we have. That way Randall, when he gets on it, he can document it. If there's any problems or whatnot, I can pinpoint where it is, give it to Terry, have him or his guys at the shop look at it. So there won't be any more of this, well, it's broke, he did this or he did that. You know, I can pinpoint when, where, and how.
Stop that.
You're right. The other one is a red trailer. Is that yours, Terry, or is that? Okay. Yeah, well, it's theirs. Currently, right now, the tires are flat. So I need to figure out a way, either get new tires for this trailer so we can start hauling tires if we need to, if it's going to be the cheapest option, or just whatever we need a trailer for. We do a lot of hauling off stuff. So again, if anybody has a really good cost-effective method to getting those fixed, I'm open. I'm all ears. We do have a international tractor down there. It is currently not roadworthy. Terry has strongly advised me not to get that on the road at all. That if it, for a myriad of reasons, from DOT to mechanical failure to general safety, just do not. That tractor is not worth it.
That's going to go into the auction, right?
Right, and there's a problem because it is attached to a walking floor trailer, which also has a lot of issues. The landing gear will not come down, no matter how hard I crank on it, which means it's now permanently attached to that tractor.
Wow.
Until we figure out a way to get rid of it. Huh? You'll break it? Okay, well, there we go.
Okay.
All right, but the problem with the trailer itself is not only is it attached to the truck right now, but it is completely full of trash. We've had to use it as a backup when Rumpke cannot switch our trailers out fast enough, or for whatever reason. And right now we're in that current situation because there's no way to move the trailer that's sitting there right now. I can't use our truck as a spotter truck. Rumpke doesn't have a spare truck to give us, so as of right now, that tractor has to sit there. And the only way we can really empty it now is if Randall gets there and what he calls dipping, which he'll pull from one and just throw it into the other if there's space. And more often than not, there's no space in this vehicle. So that's a current problem that I'm having right now, and we're trying to figure out how to rectify that situation. But
Right.
I do believe that's all I have. So
Well, we got some fixes in the near future, we're hoping, and we're gonna,
that's what I'm hoping. I'm
so
trying.
when we come
So.
back, is there any questions for Mr. Leach from the court?
No, I just hate to say it, I had that equipment down there and I couldn't unhook that trailer from that truck.
Yeah.
That truck, I mean, you can lift up on it, either pull the pin on it, and that truck will pull out. And there's no reason why they can't back into that other trailer to move it.
Which one, the international or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went down there. I have a Class A CDL, and I've looked over it. I tried to put it into high gear. I put it into low gear, and the legs are froze.
I know, you take the backhoe and lift up on that set blocks
No,
under
that's,
it.
well, the problem is that it's the weight. If we were to put blocks underneath it or what have you, it's just, I mean, I don't want to tear up the backhoe any more than it's already tore up. So, but I will entertain that idea. I mean, I'm not trying to say no. I'm not. I mean,
Give it a try and see.
yeah, I'm definitely, the worst it is we got trash all over the place and we're gonna scrape it up, so. I mean, and one landing gear where the pad is, it's completely frozen that way, so. It's a mess.
No, it's a piece of junk.
I don't know how you're gonna do all this stuff down there.
It's,
I mean, you know, if you put your trailer there, you're gonna have to have a septic system, you're gonna have to have.
right, and that's part of the building quotes and so on.
So, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you,
you need to be moved.
exactly.
Exactly.
That
That's
is-
the
I mean,
plan.
It needs to be
It's in a
It
bad
needs to get out of
location.
there.
Needs to be
away
out
from
there.
the river.
I'm glad you suggested it, and I'm gonna hold off on it, but yes, exactly.
Yeah, I told him not to go there tonight yet.
Yeah.
We're going there, and there's something in a couple of months that we may be able to get something, but I gotta wait till that firms up before we start talking about it. Yeah. Any other questions or comments?
You already said it's just in that parking lot. Don't think drain too wet.
Any other questions or comments? Thanks, Jefferson, appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you for everything you've been doing down there.
No problem.
All right. Kathy, you're up.
Last month, we ended the month with $9,278. This month, the center has taken in $3,826. The ATM for this month was $31. That's our portion. And our portion of the arcade was $421.50. That's a total of $4,278.50. Our concessions took in $2,290. Our bowling center took in $3,107.50 for a grand total of $9,676. That is $398 more than what we brought in last month.
All right.
Thank you to my
Good job.
mathematician.
Good job down there. Good job, Robin.
Yeah, she does my math for me.
Yeah.
We have the cruise-in coming this month, or in August the 11th. We have, what all do we have? We have a lot going on. We have the ping pong tournament, state tournament.
Yeah, it's on August 26th.
August 26th
It's going to be a
coming
state
up.
tournament. They're coming in from across the state for
Yeah.
the ping pong tournament here in West
That's
Liberty.
really exciting. People's talking about that. We have, in November, we're doing the Christmas craft fair. December, we have the gun show. I'm talking with somebody now to do an art show. They want to do an art show, bring art in and have, finger foods and stuff like that, and have local artists to come in.
All right.
But yeah, we were proud of our totals this month. Hopefully it gets better every month.
Now start paying for the utilities.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions, Eric? Can I help you there with something?
She don't want you to forget that, Eric.
Oh, thank you.
Any questions? No? All right. Thanks, Kathy. Appreciate it. Good job you guys are doing down there.
Thank you. I couldn't do it without the crew, trust me. They're a good crew.
All right. Yeah, you got a great staff down there. All right. I think that's all we got right now. We need to go into closed session to discuss some things, personnel issues. Unless somebody else has got something else to bring up.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session.
I'll second.
We have a motion on the floor. It's been properly second to go into closed session. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, I'll entertain a motion to go back into regular session.
I'll make a motion, we go back in regular session.
I'll second it.
We have a motion on the floor. It's been properly seconded to return to the regular session. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second.
We have a motion on the floor. It's been properly seconded to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Let's go home.